we're back with the box office bomb list. I'm going through every box office bomb on this list on Wikipedia and going through if they deserve to be a box office bomb or not. And I'm currently at number 125, which is the Huntsman Winter's War. And this is a sequel to Snow White and the Huntsman, which came out, I don't know when it came out. I'll have to look it up. 2012 it came out. And let's go over the numbers with this one. Now, before we do, want to go over the ground rules. It's important in case you haven't seen any of the previous videos. I'm going through all, as of this recording, 127 box office bombs on this list on Wikipedia. New stuff gets added to it all the time. If something comes out behind my list of, if I've already passed with like something gets added, I'm not going to review it. But if something gets added in front of me on my way to going to number 1, I will review it and change the number. So you might see numbers shift from like 125. You might see 125B, which means that a shift happens so that I can keep things in a orderly fashion. Otherwise, I'm going to be doing this forever, and I don't want to be doing that forever. But so right now, at the time of this recording, I'm at number 125, and that is Huntsman's Winter War. Now, I have stipulated that I must try every single movie on the box office bomb list, but I reserve the right to walk away if it is just truly awful, which I expect will happen at some point in this list. But let's go over numbers. So it cost this movie $115 million to make. That's not counting advertising. Typically, the rule of thumb is in advertising with a movie, you usually spend how much you spend on making the movie. So 115 plus 115 would be 230 million they would have had to make to break even. Their box office was 165 million, which in comparison to the budget looks good on paper, but they never count the advertising costs. And so, yeah, advertising usually ruins most of these movies. So it's lost money, and it was projected to have lost 75 million. Adjusted for inflation, that'd be 85 million today. So one thing that I think was a detriment to this movie was the advertising. The advertising was absolutely confusing as hell, because was this a prequel? Was this a sequel? Yes. Like they were not clear, and apparently this movie is both a prequel and a sequel to the 2012 Snow White and the Huntsman. Not only was this not clear, but it's rarely have you seen a movie that has done this. Like, the first half of this movie is a prequel to that film, and the second half is a sequel. And you do even see a couple of returning characters from that film. So it's weird how they set up this movie. I think that kind of hurt it a little bit. And you need to see the first Snow White and the Huntsman to be able to follow this movie. That is hands down important. If this looks interesting to you, don't just go into it like, ooh, I think I'll pop that in right now. Oh, it's currently free on Tubi. I'm not saying it is, but like, if you see it free somewhere, don't just pop it in. You need to see the first one first. Otherwise, you're going to be lost this absolute hell with this. I mean, you need to see the first one. And you know what? I liked the first one. I know a lot of people gave the first one shit because of Kristen Stewart. But like, hey, is she the greatest actress of all time? No. Is she the worst? No. Okay? Like, would I have picked someone else to be Snow White? Maybe. Did she do an okay job as Snow White? Sure. I like that movie a lot because of everything around her. I love the armor design. I love the like gothic setting. I love the ambience in the air. I liked Chris Hemsworth as the Huntsman. I loved the Seven Dwarves. They were awesome. I loved Charlize Theron as the evil queen. Like, damn, she fucking sold it as the evil queen. And of course, I love the joke everyone was saying, like, how is Snow White fairer? How is Kristen Stewart fairer than Charlize Theron? And there is a line in that movie where it's like, it's more of a pure of heart type thing, or a fair of heart. Who's the fairest of them all? It's more of a fair of heart type thing. But like, I even love the magic mirror, how it's like this cloaked figure with his arms crossed when she's talking to him in the first one. That was, I think the first one is a really awesome movie, and I liked this one. I thought they did some weird things, and probably shouldn't have gone with the Frozen angle, but Frozen was all the rage back. When did this come out? 2016? Like, Frozen was in everyone's mind, and it's like, hey, guys, maybe you should have let it go, you know, and not done the Frozen story. But no, they decided, let's throw Frozen in this, because if we put Frozen in with Snow White, it'll be really successful. Yeah, no, it wasn't successful. No, I did like the cast. Emily Blunt does a great job. Charlize Theron does a great job. Yeah, kind of minor spoiler alert. I mean, she is in the opening scene with the prequel, so I don't think you could say it's a spoiler. But, I mean, you know, I like Chris Hemsworth. He does go a little bit more Irish accent this time around, which I don't think he did the first movie. But, you know, there's some funny lines he does. I do like Nick Frost back. He was great. Oh, yeah, Liam Neeson was the narrator on this, funny enough. And they do get Kristen Stewart in it to expect the archive footage that they had from the first movie they used again. So that's kind of cool that they were able to get her back in it. And like, another thing I absolutely love this movie is there's some really awesome creature CGI, like the goblins. CGI was really cool. I liked a lot of that. I liked a lot of the CGI with Ravenna and the Ice Queen. They did some really cool CGI effects there, and some of the fight scenes are pretty cool. Now, I will say the CGI is not as good as like that troll in the first movie. Like, that troll in the first movie was just like to this day, it still looks amazing. They really nailed the CGI there. Did this deserve to be a box office bomb? Absolutely not. This was a fun fantasy movie. Yeah, you could nitpick a couple of bad scenes here and there, but overall, this was a fun fantasy movie. If you like Lord of the Rings, if you like Conan the Barbarian, if you like just any type of fantasy, if you're into Final Fantasy, or if you're into Skyrim, if you're really into Skyrim, you'll like this movie. I mean, it just kind of feels like, you know, closest thing you get to an Elder Scrolls type of movie, until they actually do an Elder Scrolls movie. But yeah, no, this was a fun movie. I had fun with it. Just don't forget to watch the first one first if you haven't seen either of these two. There's not going to be a sequel to this because it bombed. And the bloopers were kind of funny in the special features, because like, so many of their shots were ruined by a airliner passing by overhead. And so it's like, it's supposed to be a fantasy medieval land, so of course they wouldn't have airliners. So, but anyway, that's been my view on the box office bomb number 125, Huntsman's Winter War. And my name's Christopher Khan with 11 Hour Views, and that will be all.